Alright, you guys, it is the Carolina Panthers taking on the LA Rams at home in Charlotte, our first playoff game since the 2017 season where we lost to the New Orleans Saints. Our first time winning the NFC South in a decade now since our Super Bowl run. It's been a long time coming, you guys. And honestly, I was really hoping we would avoid the Rams in the playoffs. I knew it was likely that if we made it in, it would be the Rams. And I know that sounds negative and pessimistic, but to me, the Rams are one of the best teams in the league, one of the most talented rosters out there. Possible MVP Matthew Stafford leading the way there. Believe he ended up leading the league in passing yards as well. They got Puka Nacua, one of the best receivers in the game. Devontae Adams should be back and healthy for this game too, which I don't love that. But it is what it is. He played against us the first time these teams met and got 2 touchdowns, so yeah. And then the running backs are healthy. I think LA overall is very healthy coming into this game in Charlotte. They are a 10-point favorite coming into this game. I really don't appreciate that. We beat this team without some of our best players on defense the last time we played. 31-28 was the final score at the end of November there in Charlotte. And I feel like we deserve more than 10 points here, but also there's a world where we lose by even more than that. So, like, I don't know. So, obviously, we saw the brackets already. In my bracket, I did pick the Rams to win this game. So, I'm not going to go on and on about how they're going to win this game. Everyone who, outside of maybe some people, I guess, everyone knows why the Rams should win this game. Their offense is going to score a bunch of points. Their defense is really good, and the Panthers' offense will struggle. So, let me tell you how Carolina can win this game. That's more fun for me. Let's talk about how the Panthers can pull this upset here, because we are breaking down this game. So, let's get it. So we got Matthew Stafford coming in. The last time we played, he went 18 for 28 for 243, 2 touchdowns, but 2 interceptions, and a fumble lost at the end of the game. Derek Brown forcing that one. So obviously a key in the previous game was the pick 6 that Stafford threw, and then the fumble at the end of the game, and that second interception as well. Yeah, we're going to need turnovers again, is my guess. We barely won last time with the 3 turnovers. We're going to need a repeat of that from our defense. Not all 3 turnovers, of course, and not necessarily a pick 6, but we're going to have to force a turnover, or at least force more stops. Because watching that game, our defense did not get a lot of stops aside from those turnovers. We did not force many punts, I believe, if any. I'm looking it up right now. They did not punt once in that game. So, yeah, it was kind of rough aside from the turnovers. But the good news for Carolina is we did not have J.C. Horn in that game. He is our best player on that defense other than Derek Brown. And we also did not have Trayvon Morrig because he decided to punch Juwan Jennings, which nowadays I think we are more understanding of why he would do that. Even league players are kind of understanding of that. Apparently, Juwan Jennings is not very well liked. Anywho, that's 2 of our best players in the secondary returning for this game. They've been back for a little bit now, but they weren't in this previous game. There's a good chance we will get our right guard, Robert Hunt, back on offense. He's been missing for most of the year. He would be a big addition to that offensive line. And speaking of the offense, we're gonna need 30 points again, I would guess. I don't think we're gonna get away with a win here without scoring at least 30 points. We put up 31 last time. Bryce had 200 yards and 3 touchdowns. No turnovers, though. That's another key. We need good Bryce for this game in the bank. Chuba Hubbard got 17 carries for 83 yards. We had Rico go 18 for 58. Everything on the offense was working. We're gonna need a repeat of that, too. That was probably our best game of the year against the LA Rams, down some of our best players. We get those players back. That's how we win the game. We have a repeat performance on offense. We get some good stops on defense again. And Stafford and the offense for the Rams, they just can't do enough to keep up. That's what we're going to need to pull this upset. Daniel?
All right. Yep. I appreciate the soliloquy on how the Panthers could win the game, even though neither of us are predicting it to happen. The main thing I gotta say is, like, I do think y'all are being disrespected. Like, everyone under the sun is, like, they're having their, like, predictions, like, oh yeah, just Rams win. Like, just kind of dismissing that. And, like, I'm not gutsy enough to actually pick y'all. Like, would I be lying if I said I didn't, like, slightly consider picking y'all? I would be. There are definitely moments where I'm like, I could see a Carolina upset. I think the main reason I'm not picking y'all is because y'all are kind of on bad momentum going into the regular season. Like, y'all just lost to the Bucks, got destroyed by the Seahawks, and then, like, I think your only win the last 4 games was against the Bucks, like the previous matchup.
We can also acknowledge the refs were definitely siding with Tampa in that last game, so it doesn't even, like, momentum, yeah, I know that matters, but also we should have won that game.
There's that. Even without the refs, it's probably, like, closer than you like against a pretty bad Bucks team. So, like, and, I do, like, acknowledge, which is part of why I do think y'all are being disrespected. Like, y'all beat the Packers and the Rams, and, like, y'all beat some good teams. So, I'm just telling the NFL world, like, don't be shocked when y'all win and advance to the divisional round.
Yeah, it's very possible.
Likely?
It's possible.
I actually don't know this because I haven't filled out enough brackets with y'all winning. Who would y'all likely play in the divisional round if y'all won? Would it be like?
Well, it depends on what likely means because the Packers are favored in their games, so we would then if the Packers win. Yeah, last I checked, they were like a 1-point favorite over Chicago. So last I checked.
No way.
No, it kind of makes sense, but we'll get to that game a little bit later.
Okay.
Yeah, if the Panthers win based on the spreads, we would play the winner of San Francisco and Philadelphia. But if Chicago wins, then I think we would quite possibly play Chicago, depending on what happens. It would depend on the Philadelphia and 49ers game. Like if the Niners win, we get Chicago. If the Eagles win, then we would have to play Seattle. So it's going to be a tough path no matter what if we pull off the first round upset. But you know what? If we beat the Rams, there's no telling what we can do after that.
Yep. Well, if y'all beat the Rams, there's no telling what y'all can do after that. Maybe y'all go on a run, right? But
that'd be something, man. That would be something.
That's my thing. But you know, we both predict the Rams to be Super Bowl winners, and I don't know. Like, I just realized this. I wonder if you realize that Matthew Stafford threw 46 touchdowns. Like, that didn't even occur to me.
Most of those, or a lot of those, not most, a lot of them were at the goal line, like 1 or 2 yards out to Adams. So
yeah, I can see how that's a little inflated, but like even like I mean, only like a
counts.
handful of quarterbacks have done like 50, right? Yeah, exactly. So like that, like obviously like historic season by Matthew Stafford.
And, I mean, it's a career best season for him for sure.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, it'll be interesting to watch. I mean, for once, y'all get our time slot. Like we were always the Saturday 3:30 game, and then the Panthers come to town and. You know, this is y'all slot now. So
how about that? You're welcome. I'm glad we could do that.
We get
for
to
you
play
guys.
Mike Tomlin on Monday night at home, or in Pittsburgh. So
right. Well, it'll be fine. As it pertains to this game, I think we can win. Don't hear me say that I don't think there's a shot. I think we definitely can win. We beat them once, we can beat them again. In my objective opinion, I don't think it's going to happen. I put out my bracket where I pick us to go all the way, but in my objective bracket, I do have LA winning the Super Bowl. So, tough draw for Carolina, in my opinion, in the first round. I was hoping we'd get San Francisco instead, but that did not happen. We can win this game. We will see what happens. Bryce Young, we're going to need your best on this day. Hopefully, he can get it done. All right, and after that, we've got the Packers playing the Bears for the third time this year, and we referenced this earlier. The first time they played, Green Bay got the win there, and they looked like the better team for most of that game. Chicago made a late effort to get the win there, but they came up short. And then the second game, Chicago was trailing by, I think it was 10 points in the fourth quarter, and then they just had a heroic effort to make the comeback, take it to overtime, and they ended up getting the win. So, really insane ending to that game. I understand why, if you look at the odds here, and it depends on where you look, some people favor the Packers. ESPN right now, where I have it open, it has Chicago as a 1-point favorite. Essentially, this is a pick'em, which is really rare for the 2 against the 7 here. The 2 should be the wide favorite, but that's not the case here. The NFC is that deep this season. So this was a really tough game for me to pick because I do feel like more often than not, Green Bay is the better team between the two of them. And I know that sounds disrespectful to Chicago and Bears fans. I'm sorry.
Historically, it's a fact,
Historically, it's a fact. I didn't even mean it historically, but that's also true. Like, lately this season, for most of this season, I would have said the Packers looked like a better team. And when they played, for probably 6 or 7 quarters, Green Bay looked like the better team. So it is entirely feasible that Green Bay comes to town here and they knock off the rival Bears in the playoffs. I don't know if that's going to be the case. Neither team has really been consistent all season, and you can't really trust them week to week. It really does feel like a coin toss here. So, Daniel, what do you think? How do you see this matchup playing out?
Yeah, I'm like, you know, maybe I'm missing something, but I actually thought the opposite of like being a tough game. Like, I always just automatically pick Chicago. Like, you know, like we were talking, I don't know. I think it was during, actually, it wasn't before we recorded. It was during the like other predictions where I'm like, I didn't understand like how Green Bay would ever be favored or even it'd be like a pick'em or something like that. Because I just see it as like Green Bay, since they lost Micah Parsons, has been reeling and like they're on a 4-game losing streak. Now I know like the last game was like resting stars, so you don't even have to count.
Yeah,
that.
we're not counting the Minnesota game.
Yeah, but so like they haven't necessarily looked good, and like Chicago, I know like they had like a wild loss to San Francisco, then they lost a weird game to the Lions in the final week. I didn't really see that game.
It was just the Lions were the better team.
Yeah, I mean, that happened, I guess, but I still think highly of the Chicago Bears. Like, they had a lot of good wins this season, and clearly Ben Johnson's obviously up there as like a head coach of the year candidate, and I guess we'll see with Caleb Williams, but I mean, I'm pretty sure he's looked pretty good for the most part. So
he got close to being the first 4,000-yard passer in Bears history. I wish
he got a few yards short. Yeah, that does.
I mean, look, I've been a Williams fan for a while around here. I'm usually defending him on this channel more often than not.
Yeah,
I do find it interesting you're referencing the schedule. Like, I know the Packers have lost 4 in a row, but we do have to take the context into consideration here.
Sure.
It was on the road to Denver, tough place to play, and I think they led for a good chunk of that game. They just kind of failed in the fourth quarter against the Broncos, I believe. And Denver's done that to numerous teams this year.
Was that the game Micah got hurt, or had he already been injured?
It might have been that game, or it was the one before.
I
but
think
Green Bay was doing good in that game, though.
Yeah, I think it was, and then he got hurt, and that kind of like.
But that means he was out for the Bears game though, and in that game, the Green Bay Packers were leading 16-6 with 5 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. So I
did that game. Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't matter to me that Micah Parsons won't play in this specific game because we already saw this matchup between these teams. They don't need Parsons to have a good lead against the Bears in the fourth quarter. They just need to make sure they don't choke it this time. And did it not take an onside kick for Chicago to get that done?
It did. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
And this was a game where Malik Willis played for a good chunk of it, too. So if Jordan Love is back, I don't know if that's a good or bad thing, but I would imagine it's going to be a close game for sure. I'm very confident in that. I'm not confident in the pick. We both took the Bears in this game. The one bad loss that we can point to, since we're going to talk about the schedules, is the loss to the Ravens by 17 points, where Derrick Henry just ran all over them. So logic would say, based on that, Chicago's running backs are probably going to do well, but also, there's nobody quite like Derrick Henry, right? So
yeah, that's true. DeAndre Swift isn't quite Derrick Henry. Yeah, I see what you're saying, and I think like obviously, well, I mean, context is one thing, but actually losing 4 games in a row is another.
Yeah,
so like now maybe like you argue like, okay, like the Packers are due for a win, so they should be able to do that. Like,
yeah,
I don't know. I just don't quite see it. It's in Chicago. It's a night game, which I think is another factor. Like the home field advantage is gonna be tough. Like I think the Chicago crowd's gonna show up and everything like that. But I mean, if Packers win, I mean, I'll be here for it. I'll definitely eat crow if that happens. But yeah, I did do the I did commentate the Packers Bears game.
Yeah, that one, by the way, that was a night game at Chicago as well, so it'll be very similar, just with the playoff atmosphere.
This is a playoff game. It's gonna,
I think playoff atmosphere is gonna be the difference.
Yeah, so we'll see what happens. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong, but I think highly of Chicago in this spot.
Yeah, I mean, we both picked them to win. I don't know how this game's gonna go. I think it could go either way. To me, it's a 3-game losing streak for the Packers because I don't count the Minnesota game. Nobody cares about that. I see it as a 3-game losing streak against a 2-game losing streak for Chicago, with Green Bay having the worst loss at home against Baltimore. I like it for the Bears overall, but I do think it is a coin flip game, which is really rare for this matchup. So looking forward to seeing it on Saturday night. I might actually not have a close eye on this game. It'll depend on how I'm feeling after the Panthers game, honestly. But we'll see.
Totally fair.
But yeah, we both got the Bears in this one. We're just going to trust that Caleb Williams makes some plays, and that offense in the run game can make some plays. And that opportunistic defense, I assume Jordan Love is playing. I have a guess that he'll throw a pick or two because he tends to do that sometimes. I don't know, though. It's really tough to predict. So we'll take the Bears. And
it's a tough one.
How about we break down this next game here? What if we got the early slate on Sunday?
Yeah, the Sunday game is going to be Bills at Jags.
Man. So we've talked a little bit about this one already, and it's really tough to figure this out. Because logic says, it's the best run defense in the league for Jacksonville, taking on an offense that primarily functions on the ground with Josh Allen and then James Cook leading the league in rushing this season, which is fantastic for him. Buffalo goes on the road here, and they are a favorite. From where I'm looking, they're a 1-point favorite. So this is another one that's it's a swing game to me. Or not swing game, it's a coin toss. You flip a coin, you figure it out that way, because I don't know what's going to happen here. Logic says Buffalo's going to struggle to move the ball. And on the other hand, Buffalo's defense hasn't been very good at times this year, so you would think Jacksonville, with how hot their offense has been, is probably going to be able to get north of 20 points, maybe even crack 30 points in this game. Kind of depends on how much they run the ball, because we'll see how fast the game goes that way. I'm looking for ETN to probably have some success on the ground at times, but I don't trust him to be consistent either. The Jags receivers, aside from Jacoby Myers, I don't really trust anyone. The Jags defense, they've been good against the run. I trust them to do that here, but I also trust the Bills' run offense to make some plays at times. So James Cook, even against the Houston this year, I'll point them out because they have a good defense. He let off a big run against you guys too. I know they lost that game, but he can still break off a big run in this game. Josh Allen can make plays in this game. And for me, that's what I have happening. I think Josh Allen is going to be the difference in this one. And Trevor Lawrence, he's been playing out of his mind lately. He's definitely due for a drop-off at some point. Maybe it's here. Maybe it's in the future playoff game. I think it will happen. I don't know if it happens here, but I am going to say that his opposing quarterback, Josh Allen, he's going to go off, and that's going to be enough for Buffalo. And I think that's what they need. If Josh Allen doesn't go off and carry you to victory, Buffalo's going to lose this game. Just my take, though.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, I definitely agree that this one is like, this one's a very close game. Like, and I think like, I predicted Buffalo to win, but as I said, I'm literally like 55-45. Like, I could totally see Jacksonville winning this game. And Trevor Lawrence has played out of his mind. He's played really out of his mind since the Jacoby Myers trade. I think ever since that, like, he's been like playing really well. And it's also crazy that he's doing all this with Travis Hunter like not being a factor.
Right.
Like,
and Brian Thomas too. Brian Thomas has been a non-factor.
Yeah, Brian Thomas hasn't been that good. So like, but yeah, you have them like the second overall pick, like not doing much, and they're still just kind of like going. That's like a testament to like Liam Cohen and like the job that he is doing. I mean, obviously, like of course, like he was 13-4 his first season. He's gonna get a lot of credit, but just especially without those two receivers doing much, it's like really impressive. But I'll tell you, what I've said a lot, so I probably sound like a broken record at this point. I just trust the Josh Allen, Sean McDermott duo more than I trust Trevor Lawrence and Liam Cohen, and that's kind of what it comes down to. Like, honestly, if I was just taking like the teams at like face value, like, and just say the quarterback coach combination was like equal, like I'd probably actually favor Jacksonville, like at home, slightly better, win wise. But because it's Josh Allen, like Josh Allen's going to be by far the best player on that field, in my opinion. And I think, as I told you earlier, it'll be something like a 28-24 game or something like that. Or like, it'll be 28-24, but Josh Allen has the ball down 24-28.
Right.
Scores the game-winning touchdown, or maybe it'll be 28-28, and he just makes a few plays, get a field goal or something like that. And I just think like, I mean, obviously, as y'all saw from the bracket, I trust the Bills to make a playoff run. But I think for this game specifically, there's a lot that could, like, obviously go their way or against them. But I like the Bills in the spot.
Yeah, again, I feel like it's a mismatch on paper. The Bills offense should struggle against this Jags defense, and the Jags offense should continue to play well against an inconsistent Bills defense. On paper, this is a mismatch, and in the odds, given that it's a home game for Jacksonville, I actually have the opinion that the Jags should be the favorite in this game. I don't think it should be a coin toss based on odds, based on everything. The Bills are just getting the benefit of the doubt, and that's kind of what we're doing too. You especially having them go to the Super Bowl. I'm giving them the Josh Allen benefit of the doubt here because I think he is going to have a big game. I also don't think that's going to be sustainable for a playoff run though. So maybe we'll both be wrong though, and maybe the Jags are just going to win this game. I do think they get nowhere near enough respect given how many wins they've had this year, given how good they've looked. Liam Cohen, to me, he should have really good odds to win Coach of the Year, but it sounds like Mike Vrabel's going to get it. Personally, I think McDonald for Seattle should be the one who gets it, but I guess odds makers disagree with that.
I would have thought like Ben Johnson or something, but okay, I guess there are several.
Yeah, Ben Johnson should be up there. His team didn't win as many games as the other teams, though, which is probably why. Yeah, that's how the odds are, right? But obviously the Jags deserve a ton of credit and a ton of respect, and they absolutely could win this game. And if they keep playing the way they've been playing, I've said it before, I should say it again here, I think if they play like that, they are the most dangerous team in the AFC. They could absolutely go to the Super Bowl. I just don't know if they're going to sustain the streak that they've been on. I don't know if we can trust Trevor Lawrence to keep playing well in the playoffs.
Last thing I'll say is like someone's got to find all the clips where I like make fun of the Jags like throughout the season that leads up to this. But they have my utmost respect. I mean, this game I happen to think they'll lose, but I could also see them like go to the Super Bowl, like literally, like it could happen. Yeah,
I feel like we're gonna say that about a lot of teams in the AFC. We also say we don't trust any of these teams, but then we turn around and go, hey, you know what? They could make a run. Just we don't know.
Yeah,
we don't know.
And someone's going to, but yeah. We can do the next game if you want.
So next up, we got the Eagles and the 49ers. I don't know about you, but I had a really tough time picking this game. Because I felt like this is another one that could go either way, but the odds makers did not seem to share that sentiment. Philadelphia at home, it looks like they're about a 4-point favorite. We'll see what it is by the time they kick off, but Philadelphia seems to be the overwhelming favorite, and I've seen most people taking Philadelphia to win this game, judging by them having the healthier roster and the better roster overall. And, you know, it's kind of strength on strength here, because San Francisco doesn't have a healthy defense, so they do give up points, and definitely some chunk passing yards in certain games. But their offense puts up a lot of points, and you know, until the Seattle game last week. They struggled against Seattle twice this year.
Yeah,
Philadelphia, on the other hand, they don't put up a lot of points, and primarily when they do, it's on the ground. Jalen Hurts, you don't really trust him to get it done through the air very well. And that's what they probably will need to do in this game, because it's the San Francisco secondary that's cost them more than their run game, in my opinion. I do think that you can run on them, but Jalen Hurts is going to have to make plays through the air for Philadelphia to win this game. A.J. Brown and Devonta Smith are going to have to come up big. If Philadelphia decides not to complete any passes in the second half again, because they've done that this year, they do that, I don't think they get away with it against San Francisco, because their offense will get some drives going. So I could see it going either way. It just depends on which strength wins out. The strength of the Philadelphia defense, which is very, very good, or the strength of the San Francisco offense. That's my view of it, and I'm going to trust in the more healthy team in Philadelphia, because I do think they're going to put up enough points so that their defense will get enough stops and they win a close game, but I could see it going anyway.
Yeah, I think I could see it going either way, too. Obviously, I mean, it's in Philly. They have the home field advantage. I think you said they're a 4-point favorite, if I'm not mistaken. So, like, which is pretty interesting, all things considered. You know, I think there are just some things like, obviously, like, the 49ers have, like, played really well down the stretch, and I believed in them, you know, like, for a lot of it. Like, I picked them in, you know, that game against the Seahawks for the NFC 1 seed, and then they just kind of fell flat. And so I think what it kind of comes down to for me is, like, or one of the factors is that, like, the 49ers, like, I know the Eagles offense hasn't always played great, but neither has the 49ers defense.
Right.
And they've had a lot of injuries, and I've said, you know, for a while that I think at some point it's going to catch up to them, and, like, I kind of think maybe it did against the Seahawks. And you can even say against the Bears too, even though they won the game, which I didn't watch the game, but it did seem like
there was no defense in that game at all.
There was no defense. Like, I could have told you that. I didn't watch the game, but
right.
Yeah, so very.
And then I will say with the Seattle game, because people will look at the box score after you said that and go, no, they didn't give up too many points. They didn't get off the field for most of that game. They did a lot better in the second half, but for a lot of that, it was, oh, Seattle's got the ball. Oh, 5 minutes later, they still have the ball. Oh, San Francisco couldn't get a stop, and it was a mess.
It was just like, these long possessions. Yeah, exactly. So I could totally see, like, it's probably not going to be some, like, super, like, well-oiled operation on offense for the Eagles, but I could see, like, just, like, either Saquon running all over them, or, like, Jalen just hitting a few bombs to A.J. Brown or Devonta Smith. And
I think I think there's a chance we see them return to their more boring, methodical, slow approach on offense, where they just wear you down, and it is not fun for anyone to watch, but it's just what they do, and it works, because they kind of abandoned that earlier in the year, I felt like, because early on they did that, and it worked, and then we watched some Eagles games later in the year, and it's, they're trying to air it out. It's like the internet bullied them into doing that, and predictably, it's not working. Wow, maybe they shouldn't have listened to anyone on that. Bad play calls from the
Kevin
OC.
Patolo moment, but yeah. Anyway, but no, I mean, you know, reactivate Saquon, maybe get Tank Bigsby into the game plan. Some Jalen Hurts design runs as well. You could do that, but I wouldn't be shocked at all if the 49ers win. I've always picked comfortably the Eagles. I think not as comfortably as maybe other results, but yeah, I expect that outcome, but who knows? I mean, this is like defending Super Bowl champions versus perennial NFC contenders 49ers, and they meet in round 1. So
it's a classic matchup, you know? I feel like when we've seen this matchup in the playoffs, it has been Philadelphia who comes out on top. That doesn't necessarily mean anything, but, you know, history does like to repeat itself, or rhyme, depending on what you believe. So
yeah,
that might be something here.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yep. Definitely.
Maybe.
Well, yeah, this will be fun to see the outcome. I hesitate to say it'll be fun to watch because it may not be.
I feel like it's not going to be that enjoyable. This is one you box score view for 3 quarters, and if it's close in the 4th, you turn it on and go, oh, hey, A.J. Brown made a play and then threw his helmet across the field because he was upset about his lack of targets.
Yeah, and this is the Sunday 3:30. I feel like this is the perfect, like, Sunday nap time anyway. Just kind of see.
I find it interesting that that's the afternoon game. I probably Because I'm looking at the schedule here. We're going to talk about the Sunday night game in a moment. I would have given that slot to the Bills and the Jags. So I think that's going to be the best game on Sunday. But
the night game, yeah, I kind of agree with that. I don't know what was up with that. Like,
scriptwriters must have something else that we don't.
Like, the Patriots are better. They just want to put them on the night game. I don't know, but
yeah, that's very interesting. But we'll talk about that game now. It's the Patriots taking on the Chargers in Foxborough. The first time the Patriots have had a playoff game in a little bit now. I know their fans have been suffering for so long. It must be terrible being a Patriots fan, you know, going,
like
what was it, 6 years?
Historically, yeah.
It was like 6 years without a Super Bowl win. I can't imagine that. I cannot imagine that.
Yeah, cannot imagine that.
Well, they got an interesting game against the Chargers here. It sounds like New England's going to get some guys back on defense. I don't know who all exactly is returning. I know they got Milton Williams back recently, but it didn't really matter against Miami because they were playing Miami. So, yeah. I don't know who else is coming back. I don't know who else they need back. I know they've had some linebacker issues, it looks like. They're questionable for this game. They're going to play in this game, I'm sure, but not everyone's at 100%. One matchup I'm interested in seeing here is, can the Patriots pass rush get after Justin Herbert and get by that horrible offensive line that barely exists? That's going to be a big factor in this game, because if they can't ever get after Herbert, if he has time to throw, I do trust him to make some plays. I don't think he's going to be elite or dominant or anything against this Patriots defense that I really like, but also I do think that he will make plays because we've seen him do that down the stretch this season. If not for Herbert, they missed the playoffs. Like, he has helped them tremendously down the stretch here without an offensive line. So I think that's a key matchup here. The Patriots edge rushers against the Chargers offensive line and Herbert. And I do think that the Chargers are going to do well enough, because I don't trust the Patriots defense there to get after him. I trust Herbert to make plays, and I think he is going to keep them in this game. I don't know that it's going to be enough for them to win, though. For the Chargers to win this game, they probably are going to have to get a lot of stops on defense, which they're capable of. For most of the season, they've been very good on defense, but they have had some games where you look at it and go, shouldn't you be better than this? What is happening? Why is this happening? But lately, they've been really good. Holding Dallas in Dallas to 17 points a few weeks ago, I thought that was really impressive. You have to go back a little bit to find their last bad game. I don't know what exactly that would be. I'm scrolling right now. Probably the Jags game. They got blown out 35-6 in that one.
Pretty bad,
Mid-November, but since then, their defense has just... They stop everyone, man. So, big challenge for Drake May here. And if the Patriots get through this one and get through that defense, that sets them up really well for the other teams they're going to have to face. I like the Patriots in this one. I trust May in the offense to score enough points to win a close, probably low-scoring duel against the Chargers. Also, it's the Chargers in the playoffs, so trust them at your own demise. I can't do it. I will probably root for them because I like chaos. So let's get some chaos here, you know?
Yes. Let's get some chaos indeed. But I'm picking the Patriots, like, comfortably, I think. Again, like, I just don't know, like, I mean, they've looked really good, but, you know, obviously it's the playoffs. It's going to be entirely different. So, like, I'm not exactly sure. But I think for me, like, a number of factors, like, I mean, include just the offensive line for the Chargers just being inconsistent and, like, not that good and everything like that. And, you know, I do think, like, kind of like you said, I will be rooting for the Chargers. I do think Justin Herbert is way overdue a playoff win. And, I can't imagine, like, the memes are gonna come out, like, when they lose and, like, oh, Justin Herbert can't win a playoff game. Well, do you watch football? Like, this is actually, like, people are gonna say again, like, oh, Justin Herbert's no good. He can't win a playoff game. Like, and
yeah,
like,
if they lose, it's probably not gonna be his fault.
Right? Yeah, probably not for sure. But I just honestly, I don't have too much in-depth analysis. I just think, like, I do trust the Pats a little bit more in this spot. Obviously, it's in New England, so I trust them with the home field advantage, like, in a night game. And also, Chargers have to travel cross country. And I mean, it wouldn't shock me if the Chargers won. I was very tempted to pick an upset here, but I didn't think this would be the game to pull the trigger. I had enough upsets already.
True that. I was pretty tempted. I can't trust the Chargers in the playoffs. I can't trust that offensive line. I feel like it's going to be close, but at some point I think the Patriots edge rushers are going to struggle to get after Herbert, but I do think they'll get him at least once, and that will probably be in a big moment here, and it'll probably impact the game. I would imagine Herbert's probably going to turn it over at least once. That'll probably be pivotal as well, and I think it'll be close, but I think they need a very clean game in LA. I think they need a lot to go right, and I'm not going to say that it happens. But if it does, there you go.
Yep.
There you go.
Oh,
and with that, we are down to our last playoff game here to take a look at.
Monday Night Football.
You got your Houston Texans going to Pittsburgh. Mike Tomlin and the Steelers haven't lost on a Monday night in a very long time. That's a streak that you desperately hope comes to an end because you don't want to lose to the Steelers in the playoffs. I certainly don't want you to lose to the Steelers in the playoffs. Anyone who's watched this before knows I'm not exactly fond of Pittsburgh, probably my fourth least favorite team. Divisional rivals always come first. I don't have high-level analysis on this one. The logic says Houston should win this game. It says that their league best defense, unless you want to give that to Seattle now, I'd still say Houston. I'd say their league best defense probably is going to contain the Steelers' offense, and they're not going to find a lot of success. I don't think they're going to score too many points. I think it's going to be a real struggle. I mean, 2 weeks ago, we saw Pittsburgh play Cleveland, and a very good defense in Cleveland, and they put up 6 points. Now, I know that was them being concerned about Garrett breaking the sack record, but also 6 points in a game where you can clinch a playoff spot, that's pretty bad. Yeah. Don't like pretty that. Bad. So, logically, I'd be inclined to say the Steelers don't crack 20 points in this game. The other side of it is, can Houston score enough points? Because it's not like this Pittsburgh defense is horrific or anything. They've had some bad moments this season for sure. I mean, you watched the Sunday night game against Baltimore, and they gave up Zay
Flowers.
Yeah, Zay Flowers ran wild on them. The problem is, you guys don't really have a Zay Flowers type of receiver, right? That's a different type of weapon. If you had Tank Dell healthy in this game, then I'd be saying, hey, this is a great spot for Tank Dell to step up and make some big, deep bomb plays. But I don't know that you guys have that, so it'll be a different outlook here. I think you guys should be able to score. The Steelers' run defense has been inconsistent. Some weeks they look good, like they shut down Jahmyr Gibbs and the Lions, and then you have Derrick Henry running over them every time they meet. So I think you guys will have just an average day on the ground. I think it'll kind of even out there because you also just have an average run game. I think that you'll have enough protection for Stroud against their defensive line. It's going to be on him to lead you guys down the field and score. And I'm going to say that you get enough plays. I'm going to say Nico Collins and Dalton Schultz, your best pass catchers. I think they're going to be reliable in this game. I think your defense, you got Danielle Hunter and you got Will Anderson. I think you're going to get home on Rodgers once or twice. I think that you guys should win. I'm thinking 20-17. I would be disappointed if you lost. I could see it. If it happens, it's because Mike Tomlin and Dark Magic for Pittsburgh and just the win streak they have. That's it. That's all I got.
Well, don't forget, though, when we talk about streaks, like the Pittsburgh Steelers haven't won a playoff game since, like, 2015 or 16.
Right, and two bad streak, a bad streak and a good streak being put to the test here. One has to prevail.
And they've been to the playoffs like a lot, in that stretch. It's not like they're the Browns.
For what it's worth, they haven't hosted a game in a little bit though, because this was their first division win in about 5 years, I think. So their recent playoff, their recent playoff losses have been on the road, but the streak still. That's pretty bad.
Yeah, they won the division 2020 and then got bounced by the Baker Mayfield-led Browns.
That was fun. That was fun.
Yeah, that was also COVID, so like, it was a little bit of a weird season.
I mean,
but
I can't prove it, but I did predict that result, and I was really happy. I had a lot of nice things to say about the Browns back then, and then they went and traded for Deshaun Watson. So.
Yeah. Oh yeah, sure. He was a superstar at the time. Surely he was gonna elevate their franchise.
Yeah, definite superstar.
Yeah, totally.
But how do you see this matchup as an objective viewer, not as a biased Texans fan? What do you think is going to happen?
Viewers of the show know that like I'm not super biased. Like I'll pick against my team any day of the week. I mean, I came somewhat close to like picking the Steelers in this game, but like you say, like, I think logic just says that like we're the better team. I mean, it is in Pittsburgh on a Monday night. I'm not just saying it because of the streak. I'm saying like we have to go to Pittsburgh. Like the terrible towels are gonna like show up and everything like that. And like
it's gonna be cold there, man. In January,
it's gonna be cold. And DK Metcalf is back, and he was by far Rodgers' most reliable weapon. Obviously before he decided to kapow, right? But DK Metcalf's back now. Theoretically, you like Derek Stingley on DK Metcalf or whatever. Maybe they'll do weird, like have our cornerback 2 on DK or whatever. So like, maybe theoretically you think that our defense should be able to shut them down, but also maybe not. Like, I'm not exactly sure. But like, no, hypothetically, I do really like the matchup against us. I do think like the main things that do concern me though are, one, just the road environment, 2, DK Metcalf, but also we have to contain TJ Watt. Because like, I don't know if you've watched like the Raiders game. Now I do think Max Crosby is better than TJ Watt, but but you saw like Max Crosby nearly just win the game himself. Like TJ Watt could do that. Like he can get like strip sacks and like interceptions and like just things like that. Like he's not quite as good as his brother was at his peak, but he's that type of player. And like,
right.
I do think a lot of people do kind of disrespect him in like the realm of like the Myles Garrett, Max Crosby. I'm not saying he's better than those guys, but I think he's up there rather than a tier below. And against our offensive line, like TJ Watt could have a day, so that does really make me nervous, and him having come back and everything like that. But yeah, I mean, like I think we should be able to win this game. I do think like we should be able to, like, I think we should be able to destroy Rodgers. But here's the other thing that makes me nervous. Rodgers is like, he's super experienced in the NFL, and like he put up a pretty good statistical season, I think. I mean, let me check the numbers. I mean,
yeah, he had like 3,200 passing yards, so it's not bad, especially for his age.
3,200 passing yards, 24 touchdowns, only 7 interceptions. I mean, it wasn't anything earth-shattering, but like in individual games, I think it's the Ravens, he threw almost 300 yards.
He has been playing really well down the stretch here.
So he's played really well.
Yeah,
he just mentally has the game mastered, and I just kind of think like, you know, our defense like didn't really fade. I mean, there's only one Aaron Rodgers, obviously, but like it's not like, I guess we held Matthew Stafford. That's a good result. But, like, otherwise, it's not like we faced, like, Matthew Stafford and, like, Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers. And, like, you know, we didn't even, like, Joe Flacco or, like, Phillip Rivers. Like, I guess, well, no, we didn't. But, like, a lot of those older guys who have, like, played against these, like, these vicious 2010s.
The guys who can really read your defense and take advantage of it.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, like Rodgers was like, you know, just like facing, you know, pretty good defenses theoretically, but yeah. So that component also makes me a little bit nervous. Like on like the bias side of me thinks like, oh, like Danielle Hunter, Will Anderson, we're gonna destroy Rodgers. Like Alshire's gonna get some nasty hit or something like that. I can't wait for Alshire and DK Metcalf to go at it. Like I don't even know like how it would work with like the routes or formations or something, but like I feel like we're gonna see something.
There's gonna be a fight for sure. Someone's gonna toss
Alshire's gonna hit him nastily, and then DK's gonna like punch him. Like,
we're gonna have a brawl on the field. That'll be fun.
Yeah, if I actually call that, that'd be so funny. Okay, if I call that, I will get an Alshire jersey.
All right, now you have to. Now you have to.
Yep,
Here we go.
Yep, I will do that. But anyway, all that to say, and I actually probably wouldn't. I freaking love Alshire. He can be dirty sometimes, but I love the player. But anyway, all that to say, like, the biased, like, you know, side of me says, oh, we should destroy Rodgers, but the unbiased says, like, he could really pick apart our defense. I mean, like, I don't know how many starters were playing or not. I actually didn't keep track last week, but Riley Leonard, like, picked us apart. Like, and like there is a route where like Alex Pierce just torched Derek Stingley. Like we allowed that to happen week 18. Like,
I mean, Alex Pierce is really underrated though. I wouldn't hold that against Stingley.
Yeah, I mean, like I know like the week 18 game's probably getting overlooked. Like we did allow the Colts to score 30. Now I actually didn't care. I don't know if we like rested starters like the whole way, or well, I know Stingley was playing, but like we might have like been a little more lenient. So I think most people aren't really taking that into account, but yeah, it'll be fun. It'll be exciting. I'm excited. I'm a little bit nervous for a Monday night game because it kind of feels like I know like every game is standalone, but this is literally a standalone day. So I'm like a little bit nervous about like
all eyes will be on this game.
No, I think all eyes are going to be on the game, and like you know, hopefully we come out of it on top. But if we didn't, that'd be a little crazy. But you know, potentially Aaron Rodgers' last game ever. I mean, we'll see.
I mean, it feels like there are only a couple of ways this will go. Either Houston's defense will control the whole game and you guys win possibly by double digits, but you win comfortably. Or Rodgers and or Watt both play really well into their potential and they keep it close and they end up stealing it late with their magic because that happens sometimes.
For sure.
They should have lost to Baltimore, it felt like, and then John Harbaugh happened to that team and then Tyler Luke missed the kick, so... Yeah, it can happen, definitely, but we both feel good about Houston in this one. I think most of the world does, but don't count out the Steelers. It's very possible. Unfortunately for Houston, it's very possible. But
unfortunately, no, it's very possible. Steelers are pretty dangerous at this point.
Yeah, they cannot be discounted here.
Yep.
All right, and that is going to do it for our previews of the first round of the playoffs. We'll do it again next time. We'll do it throughout the playoffs because it's a lot of fun just breaking down these games. These aren't necessarily our predictions, I guess. This was more just oriented on looking at how these games could go, what we think will happen. Yeah. We made our predictions in our brackets, which you can check out that video on the channel. It came out yesterday, so good stuff there. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Let us know what you think of all these matchups. There are a lot of really good games coming up that we're looking forward to. We're thinking there could be chaos or it could be all chalk. Who's to say, really? A lot of really close games. A lot of these games, you just don't really know what to expect here. I'm looking forward to it. Daniel, what do you think?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to these games as well. I think, as you said, it'll be a lot of like close games, a lot of like exciting outcomes, and outcomes where we don't know like what's going to happen, like truly out of all the games, including the Panthers game. We do not know what's going to happen. So something unexpected is going to happen, or multiple things. And yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun to watch, see how it plays out.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Look, if we somehow beat the Rams a second time this year, I might lose my mind. That would be so cool.
Yeah, that'd be crazy.
You guys expected to win, of course, so hopefully that does happen. And then just whatever else happens, I'm just going for the ride. I hope that it's a lot of fun and the games are good. So we will see. I'll be rooting for chaos personally because I like chaos. It's fun to watch, but who knows? But hey, thank you all so much for watching. We appreciate it. Hit that like button, drop a comment, let us know your predictions and how you view these matchups. And hey, if you haven't subbed yet, we'd appreciate it if you would. It's completely free to do so. It costs you nothing, and it only helps us out as we try very hard to get to 500 subs. We are so close. Any help we get is appreciated. But that'll do it for the video. Thank you all for watching. We'll see you all in the next one. We'll have some streams this weekend, so keep an eye out for those. Take care.
Peace.